Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This time, a review of Sleepaway Camp III Teenage Wasteland. I don't know who the hell that is on the cover. That's not Pamela Springsteen, who comes back to play Angela. She played her in the second film. You also have the same director, because this and part 2 were filmed back to back. And I believe they both just came out on video. This was in 1989. And it's a fun movie. It's short, like the second film. It's like an hour and 15 minutes or such if you take out the end credits. Again, very short film. You still have some fun death scenes, although this, I think the MPA cut a bit more out of. But if you have the Screen Factory, there is, I guess you would call the work print version, which is not as great picture quality, and I don't think there's a musical score, but you get to see the whole film with the extended violence put back into it. So that's cool. That was, I give kudos to Screen Factory for doing that. Kudos to them. Now, this film has an interesting opening. Takes place in New York, or at least a woman sounds like a New Yorker. Her tits say milkshake on them, and that's the thing with Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. They definitely give you the titties as well as the gore. And they're fun movies. They're fast-paced films. Although I think the second film seemed like it had a bit more energy. Like Pamela Springsteen, she seemed like she's a bit more peppy in the second one compared to this. And I don't know, just it seemed like it was much more energetic film the second film, while this one's a little bit slowed down. But this is still a fun sequel. And I'd actually be curious to people if they prefer part 2 or part 3. But the first film, Sleepaway Camp, I rewatched it, I reviewed it. I didn't hate it like I used to, but I still say I like 2 and 3 more because they're more the fun, it's horror, comedy aspect to it. But again, like, first 5 minutes, her tits are hanging out, this girl is New Yorker, and it says milkshake on them. She gets chased by a truck and hit with this Mack truck. And it's Angela who's going to take her identity. And she's then picked up in this van. I like the little touch they did where the van leaves and it reveals this graffiti that says Angela is back. I thought that was a nice touch. And pretty much she's taken with this group of people where Michael J. Pollard is one of the head guys there. Michael J. Pollard, he was the rat catcher in Split Second. He was in I Come in Peace. He was in Scrooged with Bill Murray. Michael J. Pollard, you've definitely seen him in quite a bit of stuff. Tracy Griffith, I believe this was her first film. I remember more from The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips, which is a favorite of mine, personal favorite of mine. She did a good job in this as the nice girl. I would say between 2 and 3, this film had an ending I enjoyed more. Because in the ending of the second film, the lead girl, Renee Estevez, she didn't even get to fight Angela. She didn't get to attack Angela. She just ran away, fell, ran away, got caught. And this film never mentions her character. I know on the Sleepaway Camp 2 DVD for Screen Factory, there's a segment they filmed, I guess, for that special edition where what happened to her character, and it showed her skeleton dead on a fence or something, and I didn't like that. But I mentioned that in my review of Sleepaway Camp 2. Well, okay, I take that back. Angela does mention the girl once, because the girl's name was Molly. Renee Estevez played in the second one. She mentions it once, but she never mentions what happened to her. So I don't know, that bugged me. But this one, like the girl, and then the other guy, I forget the actor's name, but he's playing like a Latino type of guy. And I thought he did a good job. And those two fall in love with each other. I thought they worked nice together. But anyway, the whole premise is that this group of people are brought in for this experiment to promote sharing between the rich and the poor. So you have like this rich girl, but she's racist. Tracy Griffith, who's the nice girl. Some other characters. And then you have these hoodlums, like this black guy who has a gun with him. This Asian chick, which at one point shows her titties. Very nice. Among other characters. And the death scenes are fun. Angela gives this one reporter drugs, but it's really cleaning product. And really clean your pipes. So when the woman takes it, she gets a nosebleed and blood from her mouth, she dies. And this film still has a sense of humor to it. I'm just trying to think of what I want to talk about first. I do enjoy the little fight scene where the one guy's like, "Suck my dick, Spick," and this fight breaks out. And one of the head guys there is also a cop, and he's actually the father of the guy in the second movie who said his father was a cop, and then he got his head cut off in the third act of Sleepaway Camp 2. That father is in this movie, so I thought that was a nice little touch. The Asian girl shows her titties, and it's like, wow. Then the groups are split into two. Tracy Griffith and the Latino guy and the cop, they're in one group. Angela's was this other group. And I was saying before, the sense of humor, like someone goes, "Have you chopped wood?" "Oh, I never chopped wood, but I've chopped other things." Or uh, she's fishing with others and she catches this hockey mask that we saw in the second film. And I also thought that was a nice touch because Jason, we know him in the lake, and she fishes a hockey mask from the lake. So little touches like that are pretty fun. She kills Michael J. Pollard because he's flirting with a chick in the tent and trying to mac out with her, and sticks a stick in his mouth. She beats up this woman in the head. She puts a firecracker in this one person's face who kept fucking with Angela with firecrackers, and it's a bit cut down, but if you see you see a little bit more extended in the deleted footage. But firecracker blown up in the face. Again, I would say the kills are a bit more crazier in the second film. Again, she kills a Freddy and a Jason. She puts one person in the latrine. But this one, the firecracker in the face. There's one person, older woman, she kills with a lawnmower because she buries her up to her neck and then puts a lawnmower down. Granted, you don't see anything because the MPA cut it out. But if you watch the deleted footage, you see that little bits came out of the lawnmower. So there's definitely a... I do wish on the word print version they would have at least put in the musical score. I mean, I'm fine with not the best picture quality, but it would have been nice to have the musical score in there. I might have phased out, but maybe there was a score and I phased out, but for some reason I don't remember there being one. Maybe I'm just being an idiot about it. But I like the idea you bury someone up to their neck and you fucking mow their head with a lawnmower. And the Asian girl gets an axe to the neck. This blindfold trust exercise where she lifts someone up a flagpole and then this woman, the racist lady, is dropped on her head. You definitely see a lot more because in the uncut footage, the drop is all done in one cut, and then there's a shot of her brain splattered on the ground, which is not in the theatrical cut. She uses a gun and shoots the cop character. Another fun bit of humor, she makes this rap song and gives it to, like, she left a tape in the old school cassette tape for the guy to put in his boombox, and it's something like, God, I forgot what the fuck her rap was, but it's pretty interesting that she would make a little rap song showing how she's going to kill him. And put staked his hand, but that's in the word print, but then she does stake his head. Two people get killed with double axes to their chest. And I like that Tracy Griffith puts up more of a fight. I mean, there is a fight. And she stabs the shit out of Angela in her stomach, in which Angela's like, you try to be nice to somebody, and look what happens. And then this little thing, which I thought was pretty sad, is that, the two characters survive. The guy's really excited. Oh, I can't wait to come back to visit you. And Tracy Griffith is like, I kind of already have a boyfriend. I went, what a bitch. What a bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, granted, I didn't see that coming the first time I saw this. So it is a little bit of a twist. It's like, oh, well, this nice girl isn't, that nice at all. She led this guy on. But then she's like, well, you should come visit. I'm like, why the fuck is you would come visit if you already have a boyfriend? So I kind of want to know what the idea behind that is. I listened to the commentary. They didn't explain, like, what was the idea between that little, I don't know if I call it a twist, but a little exchange at the end of the film. And then, I mean, the movie ends with Angela killing both people in the ambulance. Is everything all right back there? Just taking care of business. I know the makers of the film, they felt Angela was still alive, but I would like to think she died. Because the Pamela Springsteen, that Angela never came back. And she got stabbed a bunch of times in the stomach. And you still have the driver of the ambulance, and it's not like she can move much because she got. But I don't know. There's always bullshit ways to come up with a sequel. And then they tried to do a Sleepaway Camp 4 with a different person, but then it didn't get finished. That's what I'm talking about. The Survivor, I believe that's what it's called. I'm not going to watch or review that because it's not even a movie. Like 80% of it is just clips of the first 3 films. Other than that, it's a woman wandering around having amnesia, and I think she talks to like 1 or 2 people. That's it. So it's not even a film to review. So I'm not going to do that one. But this one, again, it seems like it has a less energy than the second film. Pamela Springsteen, she's a little less, I keep saying the word perky, but she's a little less excited, like a little less, but I still think she does a good job. She has a couple of fun lines of dialogue, and I still like her in the role. But I guess maybe that's the point of the characters, that, she's doing this yet again. She's not a counselor anymore. She's just a part of the group. This review from Allmovie. Cheaper, dumber, more profoundly pointless, light years away from the imagination of the first film, and an insult to Sleepaway Camp fans. What do you mean by the imagination of the first film? You mean the ending? They can't do that ending again. So I don't know what the hell you mean about that. Try to find the name of the guy. Like Tracy Griffith, I thought she did fine as the lead. Mark Oliver as Tony, tough Latino teen from East LA. Mark Oliver, I thought, did fine. Daryl Wilcher as Riff. He was a guy who sucked my dick, Spig. Michael J. Pollard, always likes to see him. Fun character actor. I did a couple good death scenes. Short enough film so it didn't get that boring. Some nice bits of humor. Some nice death scenes. Hampered by the MPA, which is a shame. So if you watch the theatrical version, I think that's one of the reasons why people, I think, will put the second one over this one. I think, yeah. Because I was thinking, like, which do I like more, 2 and 3? Because I like the ending to this film more. But the second film seemed to have more energy and death scenes. At least it felt that way. So I don't know. Toss up. But it's a good, double feature. Watching Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 is a lot of fun. And it's pretty straightforward. The movie is what it is. And it doesn't try to be anything else. It's definitely not pretentious. It's definitely not. It gives you what you want. If you want death scenes, especially if nowadays, if people get this, they just get the Scream Factory one and don't have the uncut stuff on there. So if you want your death scenes, you want your titties, you want a sense of humor. Pamela Springsteen still fun as the villain. Tracy Griffith does fine as the lead. Uh, you get what you paid for in the Sleepaway Camp sequels, especially compared to the next one I'm talking about, Return to Sleepaway Camp, which I can't believe I gotta watch that fucking movie again. I hate that fucking movie with that fucking piece of shit lead character in Return to Sleepaway Camp. That's the thing. If people hate Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, which I disagree with, I think they're fun movies, watch the fourth one, Return to Sleepaway Camp. Then watch these movies. These movies are Halloween compared to that fucking movie. And I'm talking about John Carpenter's Halloween. Sorry I'm pausing, but I'm trying to think of other stuff to say, but these movies, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, these guys knew what they were making. I think that's the best way to put it. They knew what they were making. Let's make a slasher film that's very short, 70-some minutes without the end credits. That's got your tits, your death scenes, fun sense of humor, entertaining performance by the lead villain, and there you go. So, fun slasher movies, Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. So, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.